I do. We get the Hoodwink here, so if we get some form of jump here from Boom, they have fantastic follow-up. And the Hoodwink, of course, is brilliant counter initiation as well. We've all seen the Bushwhacks absolutely destroying teams who jump in with 2 or 3 trying to focus fire somebody, say Alina, and instead get absolutely countered upon. So enjoy that pick, but they haven't exactly found their way to one of those big beefy frontliners that people like to put in front of Alina yet, have they?
Not really. Unless you're gonna be playing a core Marcy, then maybe she can be regarded that way. But there's a beefy guy,
Hmm.
no vision on your side for a Tiny, and this to me is looking like a Yopaj Tiny, to be
Yeah.
uh to be honest. Unless you want to play at the position 5 on X Nova, which isn't unheard of, but I'm not sure how much I would actually like it. Talon now. You said TA. I think it looks amazing here. It really does
Mhm.
look amazing here for Talon. I don't care. Radiant TA, Dire TA, and this kind of a lineup is just gonna rip apart through everyone.
Absolutely. And of course, like this tiny pick is probably a little bit of preparation for the TA as well, because you have the avalanche, you have a way to take off the refraction charges. But you know what? They don't care. Why should they care? After Mikoto's previous performance and after the kind of heroes that get offered up here, I don't think you're any trouble whatsoever.
Yeah, they also had ways to clear out the refractions. They crushed him, and he still showed them that he cannot be completely shut down and just absolutely demolished him. Now we have the Tusk and the TA, two heavy physical damage dealers as well. Boom Esports, they picked up this Hoodwink. This has been a hero that they played quite a lot in the DPC. Considering they dropped down, I'm gonna say it hasn't been much success overall, but I am a big fan of the hero, and Bushwhack is another spell that actually deals with the refraction charges because it
Hmm.
does take away, it does have small instances of damage as well.
Now we get to the point where Boom is going to have to decide how to protect or engage for that leader. So the classic is Brewmaster, right?
Okay, for Talon or for Boom?
For Boom.
For Boom. Yeah, that actually would be pretty cool. That is a good one against the TA. Do you ban it? Do Talon remember the FBZ brew?
I'm not sure, but I think they should because it's such a classic with Alina, right? She is the thing she doesn't want the most is to be overwhelmed. And Brew is so good at controlling these team fights. Stun one, lift up another. You don't have to deal with either of them for a while. Alina guns down whoever's the next threat. It just feels really good. Of course, there is a possibility of this Brewmaster having a hard time in lane since he's going to get picked up first and Talon will still have to take their carry pick after. And we already know that this TA might just go into the mid lane.
Yep.
Mm. But yeah, if it doesn't get banned here, I do kind of expect Boom to pick it up.
And considering that 23 Savage, he can play anything on his position 1 role.
Hmm.
You can counter him any way you like, and they get rid of the timber. So this hero they really don't like. This time I'm okay with it because you are trying to reduce the armor, and really
Yes.
the timber does not care too much about that one. Still, I do think that this is a carry TA unless you're playing an offlane Tusk or an offlane Elder Titan, which would be quite cool to see.
Hmm. Tusk versus Tiny Mid. Really not too bad for the Tusk.
Yeah, I would argue it's actually pretty good for the Tusk because Tiny has 0 armor and you're just going and you're
Hmm.
smashing him in the face. Bam, bam, bam. He gets a little bit too
Exactly.
deep. Go with the shards and it's a problem. There's the Brewmaster. You called it out. I would have never guessed it, but when you said it, I was like, yeah, it's just a perfect game for it because I've been casting so much Eastern Europe, and in Eastern Europe, no one plays this hero. Not no one
Nope.
the player, but literally no one.
Like not even together with like Lina or Drow, because it's
No, no, no,
ah
no, no one. I didn't see a single one.
interesting. Well, Southeast Asia as well as South America, where I've been at least looking a lot in the past time. Really big fans of the Brewmasters with their Lina Drows. Such a fantastic frontliner. And that means that we get a Slark from 23 Savage. That is, well, once again, Talon with some pretty greedy core combinations here, but the lane is going to look pretty good for that Slark.
Um, it does look solid. I guess Hoodwink is nice to kind of poke at you, but if the
Mhm.
Hoodwink gets caught by the Elder Titan or the Slark, you are gone. Or
Oh yeah.
is it gonna be an Elder Titan safe lane or the off lane? How do you think Talon lanes it?
Hmm. See, I guess that you'd like the Rubik to be.
With the Tusk, right?
Yeah, I do
That
think so as well.
kind of makes sense more. And the Elder Titan is better in the safe lane than he is in the off lane, just because he has longer range to run you down and to smack you. Okay, so game
I
two,
agree with you there.
game two. Any favorites here? Any drafts that you would rather play?
Hmm. I think that this is really about like what kind of team you have, right? And this is very much a draft that seems right up Talon's alley. They got a bunch of signature heroes in here. They've got jabs on this Tusk. Like we all know what this man did with Tusk from a 4 position, never mind from the 3. I I do enjoy Boom's draft as well. I think they have exactly what they would want as well. But they're once again under time pressure. And I feel like pressure, pressure, pressure is the thing that always gets Boom in the end. So while my heart is still with them and I think they have a good lineup, I have to favor Talon here. I'm not gonna let my heart decide for me again.
Let your heart decide. What
Mm.
that is some
Aladdin.
Disney movie. I cannot remember which one. Anyways.
Aladdin. I
Oh
do know
yeah,
things.
yo, yeah, that is Aladdin. Yeah.
Tell me, princess.
We could do a duet there, because we do
Ooh.
need both a man and a woman voice. I'm not that good at singing, but who cares? It's all about fun. We're not gonna be doing it now, guys. Don't worry. Do not leave the stream. We are definitely just gonna be bringing you Dota action here with Talon versus Boom Esports. Game number 2. It is upper bracket. Whoever loses is not out of the tournament, but whoever wins is going to the upper bracket finals, securing themselves top 3 here at the BTS Pro Series Season 14 in Southeast Asia. I'm gonna have to say that. I do prefer Talon's lineup as well, because Lina has been in the meta so much, and I feel like if she's
Mm.
first picked, that good teams have an idea of how to play against it. And I'm always in favor, if you know what your enemies are gonna pick, if you have a counter for it, go for it. That is the best way to just completely break them and show that you're a better team. So I'm gonna be
Mhm.
leaning Talon here.
Yeah. I wonder if these Lina should be starting to build like early ACs or something like that because everybody's on the physical damage train.
I don't know if then you're gonna be as strong, as fast of a farmer. I don't know. It kind of doesn't feel like a good item for the Lina. I'd rather get the Shiva, because you already have an overwhelming amount of attack speed.
Mm. Yeah, guess you do. It's it's really all about if you want to do anything for your team as well, or if you're up versus heroes that regen a lot. Versus the Slark, certainly a Shiva would feel slightly better as well. We're going to have to see what Natsumi's got in store for us because, the Lina side of the matchup has been developing as well, right? At the start, there were a bunch of teams who were just picking Lina because she is the flavor and she's really good. We got to do something. Like we got to play it.
Natsumi now, he also got to smack this Tusk, show him who's boss right now, but you might just make him mad for the later portions of the game. For now, Jabs is going to be
Hmm.
taking some damage, Jax Nova taking some damage overall. It's not going to be anything serious, and both of them are going to be living through it. So is this game going to be the same like the last one? Boom Esports doing well in lanes and then suffering later on, or do you think it's going to be slightly easier for Talon at the start?
And a lot of it depends on this top lane, where especially on level 2 and 3 here, Q and Jabs can kill this Lina 2 or 3 times. And then the entire engine behind Boom's draft is gone, and they'll have 2 space makers for a hero that's too far behind. So that is the really worrisome part for me.
I really like that analysis. I agree with it wholeheartedly. Mid lane, so it's again gonna be a TA this time around, not against the Kunkka, but against the Tiny. Is this gonna be any different? Does Mikoto come out as the winner this time, or does he again suffer at the hands of Yopaj?
I definitely think that the excuse me, the Tiny has a lot more trouble. Yeah, oh, there we go. That's not an auspicious start. Anyway, I do think that the Tiny has an easier time taking the refraction off if he wants to, but then it also becomes about trading mana for him. Whereas for the Kunkka, it is slightly easier to just clear the wave without doing that. So For Tiny, this depends a lot on rune control. It means his supports would have to be able to move out of the side lanes. And I don't really see either of them getting a good opportunity to do that. So Yopaj, once again, reliant on how other lanes are doing as well. Man, Natsumi just took a beating.
Yeah, jabs, or I don't know, these offlane Tusks in Southeast Asia, they're just so good at snowball saves, at snowball dodges, that is insane. I think Lina only got one stun on the Tusk for the entirety of the lane, and also that counts Rubik as well, because he's always saving him too. It was just beautiful. They dodged the stun, it would have been a double stun otherwise, and then Natsumi gets speeded up quite a lot. In the end though, no one will be going down, and Natsumi with the healing salve will be back up to full. No magic ones charges though, so next time they go for him, Natsumi might just die.
Yep. That was to go on level 2, and the next one is going to be to go on level 3.
A level 2 in shards, jabs, doesn't want to use it. Now he doesn't have a snowball, but again, every single time he's using it, it's during the light strike array, so Natsumi can't really use that one. Q is going to be stunned up this time around. It will connect, but with too many creeps, Natsumi cannot be going forward. Bottom lane, Slark. Very low, does have the healing salve. Seems like he's going to be fine. He's waiting here. Come on, Zephyr. Come on, little squirrel. Here, fishy, fishy, or here, squirrely, squirrely. The stomp not going to be connecting on FBZ at 23 Savage. He's going to be smacked down, and Ollie, he comes close to that thunderclap as well, so he might be clapped to death as well, but nope, he will be getting himself out. But that was a nice attempt from 23 Savage. In the end, not good enough.
And surprisingly enough, a different safe laner going down, and the one I expected to go first here is Natsumi though. Close.
And it's not looking good for the safe laners at all. Looking at their CS, they're also struggling in that department. But the Brewmaster FBZ is having a time of his life. This is gonna be a very fast Spirit Vessel, because we see that this is the item that he wants to go for.
Fast Spirit Vessel, good versus the TA charges, brings a lot of damage to the table in general. And of course, the Brewmaster can pretty much build what he wants anyway. It's gonna have to be an Axe at some point, right? But otherwise, his function is to be a team fight in a bottle, and you can build whatever your team needs on top of that.
My bad there. He wants to get a Vanguard. I guess you can disassemble it for the Spirit Vessel, but yeah, that does make sense as a good move. We'll see if FBZ does go through with it, or is he gonna be going for an Urn first here. But the Vanguard usually against the Slark might not be the best item, but these two actually do quite a solid amount of damage. So even without any items that are gonna be going in that direction, so I guess having tankiness is not gonna be too bad.
And adding the Urn to this lane would add a lot of extra damage, especially because they will most likely not struggle to get more kills here.
BZ and Zephyr are really pressuring here. Slark is farming as much as he can, but it is definitely not ideal. Finally, he's going to be getting a ton of CS there under his tower. Lina, on the other hand, Natsumi, not just yet, but there is a couple of creeps that are coming towards him that should be able to get farmed up pretty fast. And again, they're rotating towards Mikoto. They want to shut down this TA once again.
And she is a very juicy target. 3 points up in the avalanche. Easy to take that refraction down if she still has it up at all. So gets found.
Yeah, Ollie does come over this time around. They're not going to be allowing their mid laner to be in trouble, but X-Nova is at least going to be finding an invis. Is it going to be enough to live with a sentry drop down? It definitely will. They don't even need the telekinesis. The damage output from Mikoto is just so big, and the Marcy is down.
And it means that Natsumi has to play a pretty dangerous game here, dragging his creep wave all the way to the back of his tower, because as soon as that Rubik shows back up, you are going to die, and he cannot be anywhere close near the Tusk himself either, so... Gets a wave out of it, though, for a change. And a pull.
Last game where... Zephyr? Gone.
Yeah.
That's a nice one. Finally, they catch him. I mean, the damage output of the Slark and of the Elder Titan is actually quite high, especially against the Hoodwink if you get on top of that squishy hero, and they finally did manage to catch her.
They wanted to try for jabs on top, but really the only way that was going to work was if he blinked and actually tried to snowball dodge the fake pumped light strike array that Natsumi used. He did not. That means he was home free.
When you say he blinked, do you mean like in real life? Just closed his
Yeah,
eyes
like
for a second?
a staring contest.
Okay. So Jabs, if you go away from your computer, they might kill you. But now they're gonna be trying to do it without that one. Snowball going for that one, but there is gonna be a bushwhack waiting for him. Once he comes out, Zephyr not gonna be using it immediately, but you're surrounded by trees, and you're gonna be tied to one of them. Uses the shards to get himself closer to the Lina, but in the end, it is gonna be Zephyr with his rotation that claims the kill.
And Yopaj is actually also ambling towards this top lane. He doesn't really want to go up here solo, but he knows there's stacks here, and he knows they can kill Mikoto with the amount of heroes that they have.
Avalanche Stomp, it is gonna stop that one. There's Sled, but Natsumi comes over onto Mikoto, and that's gonna be a nice kill. And also, the stacks are gone, the TPs are coming through, but nowhere cares. Boom are out.
Very, very efficiently done. And now Jabs is sitting on the top lane staring at Alina, who is suddenly a level ahead of him. That was not supposed to happen.
Looking at Boom play this way 2 games in a row, I'm even more surprised that they got eliminated, because this is...
It's some high quality stuff, right?
Yeah, first 15 minutes of the game, they move so well, they understand everything, but I guess... I'm gonna use it right now. They're just the intro boys.
I guess so. Well, FBZ shows up with level 6. He won't actually have to use it here, I think.
Yep. He only needs to be one of him to go for Ollie, who stomps the ground. Oh, they're sleeping on the job. You need to be awake if you want to get the kill, and Dragon Slave will get it there. Meanwhile, Rubik did die in the mid lane as well. We are seeing a repeat from game number 1. It was also 6-3 in favor of Boom Esports, but they did shut down the TA a little bit harder. Actually, this TA is also having a pretty bad time. Zephyr, speaking of bad times, he might be sent to the base immediately. Not gonna be happening. 23 Savage using all of this time to apply a lot of pressure to this bottom tier 1.
Yep, that is one of the things that Talon really understood well in the last game as well. Making sure that, okay, Boom is always going to bring numbers. That means that whoever is on the lane opposite of them will be able to pressure a tower. And do that instead of maximizing your farm, because Boom will be playing on the towers really hard.
X-Nova just got out somehow. I mean, Talon did mess up a little bit there, but overall, he outplayed them insanely well. Right? They used all of their spells, all of them hit, but the Tusk was left on the low ground after he hit with the snowball. He couldn't go for the right click, and that allowed X-Nova to just jump away with rebound and actually live through a situation where he should have died 100%.
Invis Yopaj to the bottom lane. That's a rough kill though. Level 8 Slark.
See? And he knows. He is also well aware of the situation. He has a ward and a sentry here at the in his own jungle, so Yopaj isn't going to be finding anything.
They're going to be finding some tower pressure though. Boom has abandoned their own safe lane tower and are coming for the Slarks next.
He wants to stay here though a little bit longer. Gonna be jumping to the side. Oh, that's just beautiful. He did that on purpose just to dodge you. He's gonna have to go for the ulti here if he wants to live TP out. It is available. Yopaj already used his spells, and this is a Slark that is alive. He does create some space there, but ultimately, Boom Esports, they will take this tower.
Yeah, exactly. What you're hoping for is a situation where you delay them long enough that you can bring people into a good TP situation, and you def this tower as well. But Boom not really giving them any sort of a chance, and now they're already looking to flank that mid tower, which is one of the big advantages of Dire, right? You take that safe lane tower, and you can immediately walk on to get into this little cluster of trees here and threaten mid.
That's exactly what they're doing. But Talon, I don't know if they ever wanted to TP to the bottom lane. I really like that you drew there on the map. We caught that one, and Zephyr and X-Nova, they're exactly there. But I don't think you really want to be fighting against the Brewmaster. Mikoto caught nice lift up there just in time, and then the Sharpshooter won't be doing anything. TA didn't take any damage, but in the end, he might actually just go down. Doesn't have a way to hide himself, standing his ground and fighting. In the end, he lives, but FBZ, he wants to change that one. Turn into a little piggy.
No?
Squeal. Mikoto is gonna have a refraction in a second. Not gonna be able to use it. The Fade Ball actually does a lot of damage. This could be a big one for Talon, but they just don't have the heroes. Where's Jabs? He's running over, but a little bit too late.
I just like winning.
Yeah, and FBZ might actually be happy that his ult got cancelled there because didn't need it after all.
Oh, for sure. I guess Talon now wants to force out that Brewmaster
Jazz?
ulti on the defensive. Yeah, jabs. He went aggressively onto Yopaj. That is not gonna work. This Tiny is strong, and especially now with the sidekick, the damage he's doing is insane. Okay, they kind of overlap their spells in a bad way there. It's not gonna save Jabs' life, but Boom Esports, their communication 13 minutes into the game, it is starting to fail a bit. Maybe just like in the previous one. Now the Brewmaster is gonna be sleeping. He had a little bit too much to drink there, and now he's gonna have to go for his boozing buddies here, or is he? He's actually still living. They will lift him up in the air. Oh, just in a perfect time. Bait them in. Slark, no jump, no dark pack. He's gonna have a dark pack in a second. Maybe he can get himself to the low ground. No, he's just trying to run away. He's gonna be stunned up and then sharpshooted in the back. Zephyr gets the kill. What a bait by FBZ. Ollie might be able to kill him right now because FBZ is gonna come very low HP. Actually, Ollie, you do no damage. The snowball is coming through though. He doesn't take Ollie. The miss stun from Natsumi, and that's gonna be a kill onto Jabs. Ollie will be taking down Natsumi though, stranded, surrounded by heroes. X Nova is dead. Natsumi, what do? You have to stand your ground and fight until the end. Yopaj will help you. Yopaj will save you. It's gonna be Mikoto that gets taken out. Snowball save going onto Natsumi. Cool off, girl. There, your hair is on fire, but no, she is gonna be fine. Not for long though, with a punch to the face. Mikoto, he is living. Avalanche. No, he's not getting out. One more slap. Mikoto, he's actually living. He is living through all of this. The toss, it's gonna be enough. 1 second before the refraction comes through, and Yopaj is out. He's out playing them, but the traps that one has set them. Chase him off. My traps will help you, but no, they will not help them that enough. FBZ, he's gonna be stunned up by the stolen LSA, but Q and 23 Savage, they just don't do the damage on the other part of the fight though. Zephyr will be caught. He does have the ulti there, but in a wrong direction. Avatar's combo. Jabs is still alive, and look at the Earth Splitter. Yopaj, he's split in half. Splitting mountains, they have the power for this, but they still can't bring him down. Finally, Jabs will get the engagement. Ollie, he gets his spirit back, so he has the armor, and they're banging in. Slark, he needs a little bit more time. Doesn't have the ulti, will have to jump out. X Nova, he can hit a lot of times in a second, but this guy, when he hits pretty hard. 23 Savage thinking about re-engaging, but that was a bad move. No, it wasn't. I'm just baiting you guys in. You think you had us, but we are still alive. FBZ is gonna be using the urn. That is gonna be enough. Jabs, I have an urn for you as well. The ashes of 23 will be sprayed across Jabs. I don't know if that's what he wanted. Jabs jumps to the side. Oh, they know where he is. Oh, it bounced out. The acorn bounced off there because Dota, that's just how the game works. It wanted to follow Jabs, and it shows them the way. I have no idea who won that engagement, but that is why I have my analyst.
Yeah, and your analyst is going to say, well, it was pre-15 minutes and Boom wanted to play that one fast and they got out on top there. Several insane plays though. The Blink Dagger coming in so clutch from Jabs, and the faith of Talon to go back in on several of those plays, and Jabs just like, trust me, bro, I can save you out. And he does several times in a row. But they were stretching it really thin there, and now mid-tower, Boom's not slowing down. Boom wants to play fast. Boom wants these 15 minutes to last for a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean,
they have another primal split.
Yeah, he has a primal split. He used it in the previous fight that ended a second ago, but he has it again. That's just how it goes because it was a 3-minute fight, because that is just normal. PA did buy a shard. Very interesting there from Mikoto. He did buy an early one in the previous game as well.
Yeah. This one feels even earlier. Of course, early game silences are super powerful. And the fact that you can really contribute to your team while meanwhile just being farming with those silence traps is very powerful. I like that purchase a lot. They came from a weird angle.
Yeah, weird angle. Zephyr is going to be taking a lot of damage, but then again, so is Jabs. X Nova a little bit too deep, and the damage will be sufficient. Ollie gets the Laguna Blade to the face, but he's running away. Will be fine for now. Yopaj with a haste rune is not going to allow Ollie to live, but on the other end, Jabs will be taking down. Yopaj comes over, doesn't do any damage to him. 23 doesn't want to be using his ulti, and you don't use it, my friend. You're not going to be allowed to either way. It's a 2-for-1, favoring the side of Boom, but they've caught the Rubik. That's going to be the third one. He has a stolen Laguna Blade. He has to zap someone. He's going to zap MBZ, but he's gonna live through it. The Thunderclap, he's doing all of the spells, and here comes the Earth Splitter. His wig is split, and MBZ finally dies. At least Boom Esports gets some. At least Talon gets something, but they will be defending the tower for now. I don't know for how long this can continue, though. Kips, Mikoto.
Just diving more.
Yeah, they are. Look at
So risky
X-Nova.
on an Elder Titan.
Look at X-Nova, he just came back to the world of the living, and now they found Alina Natsumi.
no.
You thought you can run away, and the snowball save there from the Bushwhack Champs is just two good spells. Don't work on him.
Nope, no they don't. Boom loses a couple of heroes there, but they do get what they came for. Not only did they get the middle tower, but Alina just finished off the BKB, so she is still farmed to hell and back, and the pressure, the Talon has been responding to all of this pressure, and it's costing them on the net worth charts.
It definitely is. It definitely is, but I'm very much afraid of this damage that Mikoto does with the tag team and the natural order, and that's a level 1 tag team, really, because I saw what he does to X-Nova. X-Nova is not a hero when Mikoto starts attacking him, and the Deso, once it comes out, it's gonna be a problem. He again finds a DD. I mean, every single time there are runes coming out, and there isn't really much to talk about other than these guys just bashing each other's heads in.
Yeah, well, you could see throughout the fight there that Yopaj was actually learning that he needed to take down Ollie. Ollie, Elder Titan as a defensive hero is so stupidly powerful, especially if he has all of the vision to make those decisions with, and they're going to start focusing him more now, for sure. He is not going to get that many more of these amazing stomps off. He is not going to be able to just sit on X-Nova and wait for the rest of his team to come kill him. I don't think it's going to be that easy anymore.
Man, FBZ, he has gotten an axe. He does have a primal companion right now, so he's never gonna be alone again. He's gonna be deciding what to use to farm, what to use to be annoying. It is just very, very tough to deal with these pandas just running around the map now.
A great vision for a relatively low cost. Great utility. And they're invading the triangle again.
They didn't do so for quite some time, to be honest, but they were constantly keeping the TA off creeps, so she couldn't farm as much. Then again, Delina couldn't farm as much, but look at Natsumi. He's actually insanely farmed. BKB, Maelstrom, the next item is going to be a Force Staff. He knows he has to get out of the shards, and with this, he'll be able to.
Yep, presumably going just straight on into the Dragonlance afterwards to keep the DPS up as he does that, and in general make him harder to engage upon for a lineup that does really need to jump.
Oh, Yopaj, speaking of jumps, he has been jumped. FBZ comes with the Storm Panda, he lifts up the Tusk, but they are going to be chasing forward. There are some traps there. FBZ was spotted, but the traps will not be used. I guess you do want to continue moving forward, especially with the DD still being there. And yep, there it is. Jump onto the Brewmaster,
really
they get
wanna
the
bridge
silence. He's okay, he gets the ulti off. You're a little bit too deep. More than a little snowball this time around. Only going to be saving himself. Your TA will be dropping down. Talon get ahead of themselves.
And I think that is the first time that I've seen a snowball save not work out, which is frankly the way it's supposed to work.
Not to work out, but Hoodwinked, dead, Rubik, dead, supports, dying left, dying right, but Boom Esports again come out ahead.
They are really completely unafraid to lose heroes in this process. And so far so good. Talon, again with a little bit of a greedy draft, do get punished this time around. This Slark still not at an Aghanim Scepter, still not going to be contributing anything before this Aegis is already in the hands of Boom.
He can disassemble the Echo Saber if he wants it now. But look at it, he's just gonna be annoyed by the Storm Panda as well. He's going for a TP out. Not gonna be. Ooh, a BZ. Not in time there. This is looking much better for Boom Kips. They have an Aegis on the Lina. They took it away from the TA.
Yeah, and she is in fact building that AC now. Which is going to be so helpful, not just for her, but for everybody in this game, because that natural order will come for all of you. You need bonus armor when your irregular armor has been taken away from you.
Especially because the Tiny is going for the Aghanims, so he's not really going to be contributing too much in the defensive regard. Yopaj, again, might get caught in the same place, but he's not going to fall for the same thing. Glyph was used, and they see them with the Spirit there.
You can see how much effort that Boom have put into talking about what their formation should be, because they never kill these creep waves straight on. There's not a hero sitting on the high ground waiting. No, they're killing it from the side. and controlling 2 waves at the same time from this high vantage point.
Last game, they were trying to control areas, but they never could. Now, they are actually able to do it with the superior team fight, and it's all because of the Brewmaster. I really like that one. I think it was a big mistake from Boom to let it through.
I think so as well, but maybe they thought that they had him in the bag because, you know, that TA pick, we saw it coming from a mile away as well.
They have an Ags. They have an Ags on jabs, and
Yes.
Lina has been caught. 23 Savage is gonna jump over that one. X-Nova jumps in. Natsumi with the 4-staff will be fine, but he's very low, and he doesn't have a BKB any longer. The Stomp will be there onto FBZ. The Thunderclap was stolen. Nothing too bit too much there, and it is gonna be a 1-for-1. Again, favoring Boom.
Yep. Walrus kick. I saw it in the build-up, but like there was too much else to talk about. But yeah, this is a huge threat, and one of the reasons that this Lina desperately had to get her own saving item set ready is this Tusk will just peel her out of his forces and kick her into, well, heaps of danger. On the other hand, I think that this is also why the axe from the Tiny makes sense, because people will be clustering around this Lina. Talon will have the Slark and the TA on short range hitting into her, and this axe is a countermeasure. It's like, all right, fine, you're going to be hitting her, I'm going to be hitting you from a distance.
Much
You're
harder.
going to just have to, exactly, you're just going to have to tank through all of it.
Yep, this is, you know, the intro to that
Preview.
one Q. He is gonna be like sending the news to his teammates. There is something on the other side that throws trees, and it hurts quite a lot. 23 Savage gonna be stunned up. He's getting low, no mana on the Lina, and Natsumi is gonna be giving a little bit here to 23, and he can't jump out. He made a mistake. He now has to run. He gets to get himself into the trees to heal up, to get the movement speed. Nice juke around, but he's still being seen. Pounced in 3 seconds, and he's being chased up by the other ones as well. Tiny coming over. He does have a blink in 4 seconds. 23 Savage get into the trees. He's gonna use a dark pack there, so Butchrock not gonna be doing anything. He's still alive. Avalanche will connect, and here comes the tree volley, but he jumps over that one, and the Stomp onto the Tiny. He'll get slept under the tower, but no one there to respond.
And that means that they immediately went onto FBZ in the mid lane. Jabs trying to get an engagement there. Forces or baits out. Don't know exactly what it is yet.
Baits
the
out.
Brewmaster ultimate.
He baited it out. He's full HP on FBZ, so they didn't really have to do it. Here comes the sharpshooter. Misses onto Q, who wasn't moving, so not so sharp there, are we? FBZ getting himself out. Mikoto is following. Avalanche was used on the other side, not too much there. And the Science onto the Panda. Now FBZ goes down. No primal companions, no splits, no life. Talon finally find a good engagement, and it's now chase time.
Very well done by Jabs there. That was really just a fantastic bait, because otherwise that Brewmaster keeps on holding the middle lane. You can't actually kill him before the rest of his team shows up again. And now you're going to get a tower out of what was really a non-engagement. He was just fishing. The only way he could get something there is if, once again, the Brewmaster blinks. He loses the staring contest.
Yep, and he did. Boom Esports, they're gonna be equalizing the towers going down, but actually having a better trade yet again, getting down a tier 2. Considering they already had a tier 2 on the top lane, taking a outpost was already on the menu, so that is not gonna change too much. Gold lead 3k, the TA and the Slark, we talked about their greediness. Does this mean later on in the game they're gonna be an issue?
Probably. But I gotta say that Yopaj is really good against both of them, especially with that Axe online. Talon is going to have to probably engage with their 2 cores in different places, because they're ever in the same place and it's not killing the Tiny at that very second. They are going to get one hell of a tree volley tossed at their heads.
We'll see if Yopaj does manage to do that one. He was really strong in the previous game. This time around on the Tiny, his team is doing much better, so he himself might not need to put everything on his shoulders. Yopaj going for a BKB next.
Yep, making him even less of an appealing target. Really, the thing that I just want to see, finally, is Revenant's Breach Tiny. Please, Yopaj.
Oh. Does it?
Axe Tiny?
Does
Yes.
it work with an... Oh, okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's like, Slark? You have armor, you say? You have agi? Well, guess what? You're not exactly a pipe buyer, are you?
He has a Mage Slayer. It's the next best thing. Let's...
Yeah.
Imagine he hits the Tiny and then he like a Revenant's Brooch, let's go, and he does no damage because of the Mage Slayer. That would actually be very funny.
That would be really funny. But I'll like, I think the Revenant's Brooch would be like a super big invention already, because I haven't ever seen it on Axe Tiny yet. Usually Tinies just don't have that kind of item development.
FBZ has a Shiva as their itemizing goal against this physical damage. That's really all they're gonna have to be fighting against. The magical damage on the Talon side isn't that high. And boom, they're going for a smoke. They want to engage here, Kips. Is this a good move?
Really depends on who they're going to get to catch. Talon is up in Mordor. It's not easy to walk up in there. You don't just do that. FBZ has a panda in front, sacrificial. Doesn't find anybody just yet.
It is going to be the primal companion, the Storm Panda, that is going forward, bringing the storm towards Talon. And they see them on the outpost. Nice 4-staff from Zephyr. Jump in, jump out. 23 Savage doesn't want anything else to do with that one. He will protect the outpost, and for now, no one will dare to engage.
As long as that standoff continues, Talon is favored here. They have eyes on the Roche. They have Roche behind their lines. Catch onto the Slark. So hard.
Avalanche, he does get a Dark Pact off. He uses his ulti. He has been broken, so he's not healing. He's not healing at all. The Earth Splitter is there. He's gonna jump out. That's gonna be doing a ton of damage overall to Boom. Jump in, kick back. Goodbye, X-Nova. That's gonna be a good start to the fight. The Stolen Sharpshooter not gonna be doing anything for the Rubik, at least not for now.
And that Elder Titan in his choke point with all the vision advantage, yet they're coming for FBZ, and now? That's not the tree volley you wanted.
Yeah, that's not the one. Now another kickback. Just hunt for the support, the jabs. Oh, 1-2. Who wants a match against this guy? Lina, BKB, TP out. No bashes will be ready, and FBZ will get himself out as well. You don't kill the cores, but the supports are just such easy pickings for jabs.
Yeah. And Boom really was not ready for that. They were so hyper-focused on protecting that Lina. The supports being ripe for the taking there was... They were not ready for that.
They want to continue going forward. They still have the catch. Jabs does have that ether lens. That's why he's able to kick them so much. His legs, they are extending. And FBZ, he might get one in the backside. And there it is. He's gonna be kicked back. He does have the ulti, so not gonna be the easiest one to kill. Jabs, he has put himself in a very uncomfortable position.
Yeah, as it turns out, FBZ does not need a rescue mission. He can just stand there and look at them.
Yeah, I don't care. Too fat, too strong, too sturdy. Yeah. He lives easily.
And that means that his team just has the time to punish Jabs for his insolence instead.
They didn't really need all that much time. Yeah, it's gonna be coming up fairly soon. So that's gonna be a Shard Roche. TA already has hers. Lark has his. I guess you want to give it to the Rubik if you are if you're Talon. If you're Boom Esports.
Absolutely.
If you're
Boom Esports, you've already got it over on your Hoodwink.
Brew?
Tiny or Brew?
Makes sense. Just don't give it to Lina. They did find Mikoto, but a stomp is gonna be insane. And look at X-Nova. Just kidding. Don't look at X-Nova. You can't. He's dead. Yeah, BZ dropping low. Has to be very careful against this TA. And the Lina has been found. Now she's gonna be kicked into a very uncomfortable position. He does have a ton of armor onto Natsumi. It's keeping him alive, but it's not gonna be keeping you alive for long. The tree volley is coming. Mikoto doesn't care about the trees. The refractions will keep him safe. The stomp from Ollie. They found the Tiny sleeping on the job, are we? And your job, it's not a very nice one. You think you can TP out away from us? Not gonna be happening. Punch into your big rocky face. And Mikoto does get a double kill with the Roche opening up just like that. Talon are back in the game. They're in the lead. They'll get the Roche.
Yes, and Boom must have known that, you know, they were always going to be fighting uphill. It was always going to get harder and harder and harder as this game went on. But it hurts to see it happen every time because they've been playing so well up until this point. And unfortunately, they simply can't hold on to that tempo. And Mikoto is going to get rewarded with an Aegis as a result. There's too much stuff on the ground. See, Aghanim's shard should be going towards the Rubik.
He's holding him for him currently. You know, he already has one, so he doesn't want the Tusk to get any wrong ideas. Even though I love the bigger shards, they're really not that useful. Not nearly as useful as a Rubik defensive lift. And there it is. Q does get his one.
All right. I even want to say that the new Tusk shards are also not as useful as getting the ice, the glyph.
True, especially in a 4-staff meta, I would agree.
Yep.
If it wasn't that every hero has a 4-staff, maybe not, but currently definitely doesn't feel like a good shard upgrade.
I mean, you're saying every hero has a 4-staff, but really though, this is the first game where I think that the appropriate amount of 4-staffs are being bought.
Yeah, one on the TA, one on the other Titans, so there's still 2 4-staffs on each side. I really
Two
don't like
totems?
when Dota UI doesn't calculate every armor there. So Brewmaster should have what,
Very annoying.
27? Yeah, 27. Doesn't matter. We're all good at maths here, so we'll get the calculations in easily.
Sure. Never mind, I've been counting on spreadsheets to do that for me for the past 20 years.
Doesn't matter. Kodo.
Now Aegis TA.
That is a very, very nasty hero to deal with, and again does have a DD in the bottle. Crystallis in the backpack, so once the DD is used, then the crits are gonna be coming out as well. Natsumi is trying to farm even more. He really needs this Lincolns. If you don't stop the kickback, you're done for.
Absolutely. Silence onto that Brewmaster again. But FBZ's got a Lotus Orb, so if he doesn't want it, he doesn't have to keep it.
Strong winds keeping
this is jockeying for position. How often do you see that?
Not too often. Tusk now has a Octarine that's gonna make his cooldown so small. And we all know how much he loves to use his spells. Goodbye, X-Nova. There is gonna be a couple of trees flying, but immediately silence on the Tiny. You don't want to use your BKB. He's gonna be lifted up, pulled back as well. Slark keeping everyone else at bay so they cannot assist the Tiny. And now he's kicked back as well. Imagine this guy can move mountains with his feet. Jabs. So strong. And he wants more. Brewmaster is gonna be next. He does have the Ogre Seal Totem to get to the low ground. Beautifully used, but the Slark is a little bit more mobile than that. A couple of 4-staffs as well. You like saving people? Well, who's saving you, Zephyr? That's the third one that gets kicked and punched into oblivion by Jabs.
Jabs is having such a phenomenal game. First, the timing on the Blink Dagger for that ridiculous fight on the bottom side, and now all of these pickoffs, all of these kickbacks into the later portions of the game. And boom, really, that changed the entire match for them. Look at the FBZ.
Does have the Lotus Orb, use it a little bit early there, but he's still gonna be going into a snowball. Yeah, come even further. And he's gonna go for the split immediately. Needs to do it. Picotto is gonna be stunned up. Slark jumps into the backlines to prevent anyone from assisting FBZ in his forward fight. What was stolen is gonna be an LSA stolen from the Lina. Really nice spell. And again, a kickback. X-Noah, you thought the tier 4s were protecting you, but they won't protect you from Jabs. The stomp onto Lina. Natsumi, he is home. He thinks he is safe. He is sleeping, and now he's gonna be put to sleep for good. Actually, Tiny is back up to the world of the living. 23 Savage jumps out. Mikoto, and there it is. The kick onto the Lina. Thinks the 4-staff will save you, but it will not. They wake these two immediately. That's the first mistake that I've seen from Jabs. Miscommunication with Ollie. That could have been another round of kills.
Another tree volley. There's nothing into the refraction, you just get tossed out of the base. What do you do?
Boom. They're looking at this one. They're looking at Ice Frog as well. If anyone had his picture as, a loving guy that's giving us so much, they're gonna be ripping it apart after this game, because this decision to give Tusk the Aghanim Scepter, it was a long time ago, but it really lost them this game without any chances to do anything.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the only chance they could have had, and it feels like really bad advice, the only chance they could have had is for Yopaj to not build a BKB and just go damage immediately, buy this crit instead of the BKB, and pray to the Lord that you're going to get a good opportunity to use it. Because right now, sure, he has the tree volley, but it's not really doing anything. And then afterwards, they know his location, he gets kicked back into oblivion.
Yeah, either you kill them in those 3 seconds that the trees are flying in, or you lose the fight. It seems like the latter is the thing that's gonna be happening here, and the second lane of Rax gone.
The only thing that protects the third one is the fact that they still have an outer tower there.
This is Boom Esports. They're all staying like, you go in front, no, you go in front, no, you, because they know it's not gonna be ending well for the one who is in front. Lina finally doesn't get the Lincoln Sphere, a little bit too late, I would think.
Yeah, but what choice do you really have here? It's the age-old problem with these range carries. Sniper has it, Drow has it, Lina has it, where you need to itemize so defensively that at some point your biggest strength, which is doing enough DPS that they can't touch you in the first place, really just gets lost in the din. And that is the case here again. Like, sure, he has got a crit queued up right now as well, just like his Tiny, but I think it's too late to save you.
Not going to the Savage, jumping in, he still doesn't have the refresher, but he wants to get it. Jump in, jump out, testing the waters there, and he sees that Boom Esports, they are on the high ground. But yeah, you want to hold the high ground? Sure, we're just walking to your base, so you'll have to move.
Yeah, but be ready for the backstab, because they will do that to you, and that's exactly why they're lurking here still, while 23, still seeing if he's being observed, carefully looking at his ultimate status.
Once he has the quadruple ulti, I don't really know how you killed this Slark. You don't really have all that much lockdown on Boom Esports, and immediately he jumps in, he's gonna use the Dark Pact in one of his ultis. Like, there's no reason not to do it, especially once the refresher is done, and there it is. Now it's gonna start getting delivered to him.
I'm just gonna say it again. The way you do it is crit Revenant's Brooch, Ags, Tiny.
Okay, so he only, and the Divine Reaper, so he only needs like
Yes.
20,000 gold more, and then Boom Esports are gonna be on the right track though, considering that he only has 15,000 currently, so we are gonna have to see another 80-minute game, I would assume.
Roughly, but you know, that's probably, I haven't actually looked at the win graph at all.
Okay,
It's
I'm
probably why
gonna
there's
do
still
it.
4% chance.
Oh, no way, no way, you looked or you knew? Because it is 4%.
Yeah, I looked. I was
Okay.
gonna guess 5, but I cheated.
Kips, even if you looked, you don't tell it to the viewers. You say you're smart, and then we're gonna make up a story. Yeah, when they were making an algorithm for the Dota Plus, they invited Kips to help them because she's just so
Yes.
good and she knows everything. But yeah,
Exactly. There's actually a
opportunity.
chip in my brain that taps into that algorithm, and the algorithm taps into me.
Ah, okay, that does make sense. So, how much chance do these guys have? Kips say 2%, and then it sends it to our little screens. Yeah, does make
Exactly.
sense. That's the exactly kind of technology I thought they had here in Dota in 2023. But Boom Esports, they cannot wait any longer. They have to fight. Their final lane of racks is dropping, and Talon, they know that this is coming.
Stab, smoke breaks. Oh, those were fast fingers.
Yep, and now they're gonna be going in onto the Lina, kicking her into you. They've already killed one, trying to kill FBZ. He's gonna go for the split. Natsumi solo. He cannot fit. He's dead. He's not low. He's just gone. Biopash will go for a TP out. The sharpshooter from Zephyr. It will do absolutely nothing. Now the lift up onto the Hoodwink. Deal with Zephyr very easily. Going for a TP out. He will be successful at that, but FBZ will not survive. And with 2 cores dead and only 1 core and 1 support alive, Boom Esports, they have no other choice than to tap out of this one. It is going to be a 2-0 for Talon.
It is going to be a 2-0 for Talon, but I keep on coming back to it. The way that Boom played that early game, the way that they know what they need to do, and the fact that it really just takes Jabs having an absolutely godlike game in order to peel them off of the win here is quite impressive. And where was this Boom during the DPC? Earnest question. Because I don't think that this is a degradation type performance. I think that this is at least middle of the pack, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, unfortunately here it's not gonna be enough to beat Talon. It probably wasn't enough to beat the other guys in the DPC. They only got 2 wins there, and then they just dropped out of it. They're also going to be dropping out of the upper bracket of the BTS Pro Series, but there is still the lower bracket to be played. Kips, before we go on to our 15-20 minute break, before we go into the next series, do you think the next one we're also seeing a 2-0, or does Xerxia actually have a shot?
Yeah, always has a shot, man. And I think if most of that is down to their ingenious ways of drafting. I think they keep on coming up with really interesting things that give them a shot versus teams that, we're expecting less of them. But hopefully that mistake won't be made again. We're going to have to see. But no, I think Xerxia can always take a game off.
We already have our first top 3 of the tournament. We're gonna be getting our second top 3 of the tournament after a short break. So it is gonna be Blacklist Rivalry International versus Xerxia coming up after a short break. So guys, stay with us. More great Dota to come.